Hello everybody, I am again back with my online geography tutorial. Today I am going to teach you a very interesting topic that is called interior of the earth. Now before I start my teaching, I have one request to all of you. If you like my teaching and the presentation, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Our knowledge about the Earth's interior is mainly based upon the indirect sources like density, temperature, pressure and earthquake waves. At first, I will discuss about density. According to Newton's law of gravity, Earth density as a whole is 5.5 gram per centimeter cube. Now, the surface of the Earth is made up of sedimentary rocks whose average density is around 2.7 gram per centimeter cube. Beneath the sedimentary rocks, there are igneous rocks with average density varying from 3.0 to 3.5 gram per centimeter cube. That means we can say density is increasing with the increase in depth. Now why this is happening? To understand this, you have to go through this diagram that is showing different layer within the Earth's interior. If you observe this diagram, you will find that inner core have to bear the pressure of overlying 4 layers. Outer core have to bear the pressure of overlying 3 layers. Like this, lower mantle have to bear the pressure of 2 layers, upper mantle have to bear the pressure of 1 layer, and crust have no pressure of any kind of layer over it. That means with the increase in depth, we can say the pressure is increasing over each layer. So as the pressure is increasing over each layer with the increase in depth, for that reason density is also increasing with the increase in depth. And as you can see in the diagram, that crust have the minimum density, that is 2.2 to 2.9 gram per centimeter cube, and inner core have the maximum density, that is 2.8 to 13.1 gram per centimeter cube. There is a second opinion or second view that inner core is made up of heavy metal like iron and nickel, that also make the density of the inner part of the earth heavier than the outer part. Next one is temperature. There is positive or direct relationship between temperature and depth. That means with the increase in depth, temperature increases. As you can see in this graph, that interior temperature is increasing with the increase in depth. In mantle, the melting point of the rock material is more than the interior temperature. For that reason, what is happening in mantle? The rock material existing in solid state. Similar thing happening in inner core. So in inner core also the rock material existing in solid state, but in outer core opposite condition is there. Over there interior temperature is more than the melting point temperature. For that reason in outer core the rock materials are existing in liquid state. Next is pressure. As I have said you in the previous slide that pressure increases with the increase in depth. So we can say that between depth and pressure there exists a direct relationship or positive relationship. Now due to high pressure inside the earth, volcanic eruptions take place and tectonic forces are at work. Whenever there is any kind of crack or opening at the earth's surface, then by means of volcanic eruption the heavy pressure that is building within the earth interior get released. Earthquake waves. There are three kinds of earthquake waves: P waves, S waves, and surface waves. What is P waves? P waves is that kind of wave where the movement of particle is in the direction of propagation of the waves. That means particles are moving forward and backward with respect to the direction in which the wave is moving. In S wave, the movement of particles is at right angles to the direction of the waves. That means in S waves, particles are moving upward and downward with respect to the direction in which the wave is moving. The last one is surface wave or raylight wave. In surface wave or raylight wave, the particles are moving in a circular pattern, and this wave is confined to the earth's surface, and like P wave, surface wave can pass through all medium, but S wave can travel only through solid. Seismic shadow zone. What is seismic shadow zone? Seismic shadow zone means that part of the earth's surface where there is no earthquake wave, where earthquake wave does not occur. Now why this happens? Now for your knowledge, I want to say one more thing, that seismic shadow zone always lie opposite to the epicenter. Now why this seismic shadow zone happens, or why seismic shadow zone occur on the earth's surface? Look at this diagram. If you observe this diagram, you will find that there are two kinds of waves passing through the earth's interior, and these waves are indicated by means of line. Black lines indicate S waves and yellow line indicate P waves. Now if you observe the diagram, you will see that the P waves are passing only through the core, and when they are passing through the core, they are getting refracted. That means the direction is changing due to decrease in their velocity. But if you observe S wave, you will find that they are not entering the core. Why? Because S wave cannot pass through liquid, and outer core is liquid in nature. But why P wave is entering the outer core? Because P wave can travel through all the medium. As S wave is not entering the core, for that reason what is happening? On the opposite side of the epicenter, over the earth's surface, there is no direct P wave and no direct S wave. For that reason, this part is known as shadow zone. There are two kinds of shadow zone. In one shadow zone, there is no P wave and also no S wave. So this part of shadow zone is known as P wave shadow zone. That is shown in light gray color. And in another part of the crust, what is there? There is only P waves, but there is no direct S wave. So this part is called S wave shadow zone. This is the two division of shadow zone. One is P wave shadow zone, another one is S wave shadow zone. In P wave shadow zone, no direct P wave as well as S wave are received. In S wave shadow zone, no direct S wave are received. Next one is layers of Earth's interior. On the basis of temperature, density, pressure and earthquake waves, we classify three types of layer within the Earth's interior. The first layer is crust. The average thickness of this layer is 33 km. It is thicker below the mountain and thinner below the oceans. It is a solid layer of earth which is composed of rock. Now, this layer is separated from mantle by means of Mohorovičić discontinuity. Next one is mantle. Now mantle extend up to the depth of 2900 km from Mohorovičić discontinuity. The part of upper mantle up to the depth of 400 km is known as asthenosphere, and the part between 400 to 650 km is called transition zone. Mantle composed of solid rock, but these rock are elastic by nature. Like crust, mantle also composed of solid rock, but these rock are elastic by nature. That means when seismic waves are applied to the rock of mantle, then their shape get deformed. But again, when this seismic wave, the pressure created by the seismic wave on the rock of the mantle is released, then again those rocks come back to their original form. That means we can say under the trace of seismic wave, the rock of the mantle, their shape get deformed, and when the trace of the seismic wave is released, then the rock of the mantle get back to their original form. And mantle is separated from the core by means of Gutenberg discontinuity. Now the last layer that lie beyond 2900 km is known as core. It exists till the center of the earth. The upper part of the core behave like a liquid. Why? Because S wave disappear over here. But the inner core is solid, as it is mainly composed of heavy metals like nickel and ferrous. Now the Earth's interior after Edward Swiss. How Edward Swiss have classified the interior of the Earth? He mainly classified the interior of the Earth on the basis of composition like Sial, Sima and Nephi. Sial composed of silicon and aluminum. It extends up to the depth of 100 km and average density varies from 2.75 to 2.90 gram per centimeter cube. Below Sial we have Sima that lie in between Sial and Nephi. It extends from 100 km to 2900 km. Its average density varies from 2.90 to 4.75 gram per centimeter cube, and it mainly composed of silicon and magnesium. And the last layer is Nephi. It extends from 2900 km to the center of the earth. Its average density varies from 11 to 12 gram per centimeter cube. It mainly composed of iron and nickel. With this, I complete my session. Hopefully, you will like the session, and if you like the session, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you have any kind of problem in understanding, please SMS me in my WhatsApp number, or you can put your comment or queries at the comment box of the YouTube. Thank you.